How's this? Testing 1, 2, 3. Okay, this should be working now. This should be working now. How's the audio now? Is that all good? Yes, it should be. I had muted the mic. Is it working? It should be working. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing. Are we good? Are we good? Back online? Yes. I am so sorry. That's from when I was live last time with the microphone. I should have done it this time. It'll be much easier. All right. Welcome to the Sunday session, everybody. I hope you've all been having a good weekend. I don't know. I was having a fairly good conversation. I don't know if you all seen. I posted a little clip just now to say we're live, and I showed a little sneak peek of a weird color changing gimmick that I've been playing with that I'm going to go over with you all today, and then we can, like Brazen Magic says, welcome to church, everyone. Welcome to the Sunday ceremony, if you may. God, so many people in the chat. We got Alex Bow, David Peace, Adstarb, Chris James, Pete Cruzier, Master Luke, Aaron R, Josh Riley, Gillian, Benjamin Stevens. Who else we got in here? Brazen Magic, Anu Rojas, Kevin Edwards, Diogo Amorim. Hello, welcome to all of y'all. Hope you're having a good time. It is, for me, the 5-6 day countdown. On Friday, I am flying out to Magic Live, and I cannot bloody wait to get there. How many of you in the chat are going to be at Magic Live, and how many of us are going to hang out whilst you're there? I know Josh is going to be there. It's his first one. It's my third or fourth Magic Live, I believe, and I have not left the country in 3 years. I want to say 3, maybe 2 years, 3 years at least, because of the pandemic. Tom Pickard says Pickard in the chat down below. So I'm here to talk to you about all things Magic Live. I'm going to show you this little. Let me see if I can show you this this little gimmick that I've been playing with over the weekend. We'll dive into it in a bit more detail later, but just to give you, it's like this idea of like if you paint it red, it becomes. Oh, I'll go over sort of the thinking behind it in a bit. Just let the chat warm up whilst we do that, and I'll talk to you about why I've been playing with that and some of the things that I've been getting ready for you guys for whilst we're away. Hello, Matthew Braitman from Canada. How you doing, man? I love Canada. I've got YYZ Toronto Airport tattooed on my arm. Me and McKinnon got matching tats while we were there, and I think Madison and a bunch of the other guys too. So whilst we're waiting for some more people to join in, any questions from the chat? Or, like we said, is any of you guys go into Magic Live? Hopefully next year you can hit it. Midge, hello. Guys, you all know Midge. He was here on the Sunday session live a couple of weeks back. Fantastic mentalist and cinematographer. If you haven't seen his Sunday session, go back. We discussed some really cool ideas. I think we went over some good ACANs, I think, or some Psych Forces. Adstarb says, wish I could be going to Magic Live, but holiday park wages aren't what they used to be, so I'm stuck here for now. Where is here, man? From Germany, you can't be there, Master Luke. That's such a shame, dude. But I've been to a convention. I've been to CardistryCon convention in Germany, I think. I went to Berlin, and that was actually a blast. It wasn't like great in terms of a good convention there, but it was a good hangout with everyone. Punk BMX says, yo, Lloyd, I performed for friends for the first time this week. I did a few card things and Lux. Nervous, but loved it. Hell yes. Congratulations, dude. Midge, how am I so damn handsome? I'm not handsome. That's the secret to how am I so damn handsome. So, let's just dive sort of into this gimmick. As you guys know, I absolutely love slow motion color changes. You know that I come up with the lenticular change cards. I think I have a bunch of them. I didn't actually plan this, but I have a bunch of old ideas for these change cards here. Let me show you some of the things that I have. I made this gimmick to do like a royal flush with an ace of spades on it. So you'd cut this out and it would be able to change to a royal flush super visually using a lenticular card. So as you can see close, I could cut the edges out like there, which I could probably do right now. Should we do it right now? Let's do it right now. Do it right now on camera so you can get a better idea. And then this is an old idea for a card gimmick. Oh, I'm so rushing this. But then it wouldn't be a Sunday session if it wasn't rushed, would it? It wouldn't be tradition. Oh, that's sounding so gross. Oh, look at that, I've ruined it. Okay, great. So what you would do is, if I take an ace of spades, do I have an ace of spades? Don't even have an ace of spades. Do I have an ace of spades here? But almost, I think apart from one, every card, oh, it's not this deck, it's the next deck, isn't this one? Yeah, I think almost every card in this deck is signed because I love you guys so much. I pre-recorded 4 different videos ready for whilst I'm away. But yes, this is one idea from, this is like years and years. I'm talking like 2015, this idea. Oh, so you show a random assortment of cards. God, look how bad that looks. And as you shake, it becomes a royal flush. I don't know. What you guys think of that? Anyway, that's not the color change that I've been playing with, as you just seen at the beginning. But I thought you'd show you some of these cool things. Ad stab. Here being Treco Bay. Adam. That's Adam. Adam, you're... That's right, you're in Treco, which is the next street over from my house. Why don't we hang out and go for like a magic jam, dude, if you fancy it? If I can see where your holiday park begins. We should hang out. Chris James says, was supposed to go, had to cancel because my big bosses from Colombia decided to come into town. Ah, great. The best type of bosses. Yes, so anyway, as you know, I love color changes. I come up with this thing, which is like a slow motion color change. The only problem is, it is practical, but in the right conditions. So, it is angle sensitive because it's one of these cards. And I have a bunch of different ideas, but I never ever published with it. But I keep exploring these ideas. Like one of them was, I can't remember if I published this one. So you do it for like an angle 0 thing, where it would like, corner would heal, I don't know. I'm not going to show you all the things, but some of them were pretty cool. This one didn't really work too well, but it's like, actually, this doesn't look too bad. I don't know. Anyway, but I wanted a slightly more, I call it like a static version, or like a more solid version, which wouldn't be so reliant upon angles. I'm reading some of the comments. Hello from Massachusetts. What's going on? Hi, John. How you doing? Back again. Master Luke, can I explain the Faro Shuffle, the angle I'm trying? Yeah, I'll go into that, man. Oh, yeah, you didn't realize I was... Yeah, dude, I'm in... I'll tell you... message me on Facebook, and I'll tell you what street I'm in. I'm literally next to you, like the next street over. I'll go over the Faro Shuffle for you just after this stuff now. Change by... Yeah, so Change I created 5-6 years ago, I think it was, and released it that long ago anyway. The card concept besides Zed for Wallet, so many ideas. Yeah, you can do some stuff with it. So, anyway, I wanted a more static version. Other than that, I'll have to show you... one day I'll show you guys the coin and bottle that I come up with Change. But it's... Oh, look at these. I forget I have all these. This was never released as well. Let me see if I can show you. But I think I put a video up maybe of it somewhere. But it was a card box that would change. So you can do like a card jumping through the box or whatever. Got like an appearing corner. I don't know. Maybe one day I'll do a giveaway with some of these. Would you guys like that? Would you guys like to win some of these in a giveaway? Anyway, this one isn't as fun. But you can see, I like this idea of like painting a card and it like or just touching a card and it becomes red for just a moment and it goes back. We can blow it. And parts of it become red. So the way this works, which is way more difficult than you think it is, which is annoying, or way more, it takes more thought to make it than you think it would. Because when I wanted the areas to change to red, it has to match at the top and here. So it looks like, essentially it looks like nothing happens, right? But it becomes red. And to do that, I had to cut out each piece as close identically as I could. I did it all by eye and hand, so it's not perfect. And then match up the piece above with the piece below, flip it, stick it on, and then glue them, use magic tape one under each one like that. So the tape is riding under each one sort of thing. And you get this weird, you can sort of achieve change like that, but get this weird gimmick then that you can just run down. And so for the briefest period of time, it looks like you can just touch it, and like wherever you touch becomes red. If I touch here, there. That's just a fun, stupid thing. I was experimenting with a card. This card actually, I think, folded up like a Venetian blind. And this, I know this bit isn't creative. It's not very creative at all, actually. But it was folded up like a Venetian blind that would go down on the face of the card. Looked terrible. Looked absolutely awful. I forget how many things I got from old prototypes in this box and what they can do. One day I'll go over them all with you, but there's some crazy stuff in here that they can do. The weirdest things. I'll show you that. Anyway, so that's what I've been playing. What have you guys been working on over the weekend? What have you been doing the past week? Or what do you want to see more of? Let me catch up on some comments. David Jonathan, you're not going to Magic Live? Oh man, I really thought you were going to be there. I've never met you in person. It would be like an honor to meet you, dude. It happens though. It does happen. Alex Bow says, yes. Teach an impromptu visual trick from Mad Skills. Was those visual card change cards the seed of Lux? No, they're not. They weren't the seed of Lux. The Lux was something completely individual from that. These ideas, these cards, they're sort of done and dusted in my like sort of Magic career. I played around with them. I actually have. There's a big box of 200 different ideas with these cards, and some of them, I wish I had it with me. Some of them were just like not like ego massaging, but some of them would blow me away because I looked at them with a fresh set of eyes after years, and I think, what was I smoking to be thinking about some of those things? But I'll try and dig those out and show them to you. Arcade Magic says, Josh says those are insane. Thanks, dude. I love Change when it was released, although sadly I accidentally bent them while putting them away. Wish I could get another set. I know that Change sold out so fast. Actually, Change didn't just sell out so quick. When these first went on sale, we were getting them from a certain manufacturer, and they do lots of different printing and things. And they sold so many, or they had to make so many, that they ended up closing down the lenticular printing department for good. They don't make them anymore because of Change. An ambitious card routine, please. I would love a giveaway. That appearing corner card is incredible. Thanks, dude. Thanks, Josh. Wondering, the card with a tricky hole, is it always black or transparent? The card with a hole, I think I just put it all away, didn't I? Which is, I'm just trying to show you guys which one it is. Where did it go? Where did I put it? Here's a smiley face one. This thing's crazy. I'll show you that. That's one of the oldest things I've ever done. The card with a hole. This one, I've got it unwrapped when I somewhere. It is black all the time. Where's it gone? Yeah. So yeah, if I can show you. It's black all the time, so I hold them in front. But if I wear a black t-shirt, black shirt even, so the idea would be. But yeah, this one isn't as impractical as people may think. I think I went over this years and years and years ago, But these sorts of ones are really impractical. But this is something I've performed with a few times, quite a lot actually, going back in the day. Diogo says, I'd love to get those angel light. Oh, it jumped. The comments like went poof and jumped up as I was reading it. Where did it go? Car corner because angel light gimmicks. Abraxas, what up, gangster? What up, Nathan, man? Yes, call me for the tattoo. I want to get one ASAP. I want to get my hat. I want everything done. Ambitious card routine. Okay, so we want Faro Shuffle lesson and an ambitious card routine. I will. I'll teach both of those now. What happened to Spectre? All right, Arcane Magic. Confession time. I don't remember what Spectre is. I know I made it a post and I remember it was a visual trick, but I don't remember what trick it is. So could you refresh my memory in the comments, please? I'm trying to rack my brains to think about what it was. Luco says some card stuff. Okay, card stuff. Sounds like everyone wants some card things today. Some mentalism using stacks. You say something like stay stack or psi Stebbins or maybe impromptu floating key card effect. I actually just before this started, I was playing with something using key cards and Faro shuffles. So maybe I'll show you. It's a completely unfinished idea, but I'll show you what it was. So don't judge me on this idea because I'm telling you it's terrible. But Akash asked about something to do with key cards, and we've had a previous question about the Faro Shuffle. So, where's those cards gone? Here. This is the idea I was playing with a few minutes before we went live, literally on the desk here. Please don't judge it, okay? I'm telling you, don't judge it. But it was any card, any number, using one or two people. And the idea was, you'd know this card on top, and this would be a key card at the bottom, okay? So the Six of Hearts is your key card, and you'd have somebody cross-cut force, right? So you do this, and remember, the Six of Hearts is the key card. So you do that. So the first person you'd say is going to have the card. So you'd have person A lift these cards, right? And this person here would remember this card, which we all know is the 4. Right? It actually doesn't matter what this is, but just in the context of this so far. And I was just working on this idea before we went live. I literally have nothing, this is terrible, but it's got something, I think. So this card would be remembered. And this person you'd say, and this is kind of why it's a two-person thing. You'd have them think of a number between 1 and 52, or at least a number within this many cards. And you'd say to them, and I'll tell you what the conviction is, or the rationale is for doing this, or to make it feel more like it makes more sense. And again, this is a very, very 21-minute old idea. You say think of a number within at least this many cards. Let's say they think of, and before you say, make sure you can half it. All right, so half. So let's say they think of the number 16. You tell them to indicate sort of to this person, deal half the amount of cards on top. So they're going to deal 8 cards, because 8 is half of 16. I didn't count then. How many is that? Where's the 4? So the 4 is there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right, so this person now can work out how many cards they're thinking of, but I don't know, and their cards is going to get buried in the deck when you drop the rest of these on top. Yeah? Following so far? So at this point, cards have been cut. This person's thinking of a card, this person's thinking of a number. They've indicated by dealing half the amount of number into the deck, and then they drop the deck on top. This, I'm telling you, before I go any further, this is not good yet. It's not good yet. So at this point, you can have them do a false OC cut, this, and then you can go through and spread and show the cards are all mixed, or what they believe is mixed. And I'm going to cut to the key card, which is the 6 of Hearts, and bring everything to the top, right? Now, this person's thinking of the number, this person's thinking of the number, whoever is thinking of the number 16, but they only ever indicated 8 cards by dealing 8 cards. So, if I give a shuffle, a Faro now, And it doesn't even have to be perfect. It's when you do a faro, you'll normally hit the perfect amount right at the top. So don't forget, their card is currently 8 down from the top. See, there's that 4 there. It's 8 down from the top because we cut to the key card. So watch what happens. I mean, look how worn this deck is. But hopefully it should give me a perfect faro, at least at the top part. Like this. I think there's a... No. Let me go the other orientation. Remembering where... There we go. Is that good? Yeah. So now I do this. Go down. I'll either be one off if I've done an in faro or an out faro, or I'll be bang on. But now, because I put one card in between every one of those 8, it'll either be 16th or 17th, right? So I'll say, what's your number? 16. Or I'll just say, what's the card? And it'll say the 4 of diamonds. We'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So it'll be the 17th, okay, 18th card, right? Because I did a in faro when it should have been an out faro. But right, so that's the basics of the routine. Like that's just the core overview of the routine. Terrible, right? But I think there's some cool things that can be taken from this, or it's a good foundation cornerstone for the rest of what it could become. And one of the cool things I think that you can do is like play this sort of like a mental black spot on the spectator. You could say to them, I want you to both think of a number between... You're both going to think of a number between 1 and 52 each. But because if you both thought of like 44, there wouldn't be that many cards in the deck. So think of a number of half, okay? And you think of half. And the wording is very loose there. So I think you could... I mean, it has to be scripted a little bit, or not scripted. I'm not a fan of scripting, but it can be thought through a bit better, because when you're going to do the crosscut force and the first spectator is going to look at the card, you can basically dismiss their number. You don't even have to come back to it or mention it again. But what you can do is to the person thinking of the number is that you can say, so you can say, like, you're thinking of the card, right? Good. And you're thinking of a number, and you're thinking of half of that number, right? Which is like a play, sort of just playing with the words that you're using. And it's just so that it gives you the excuse for them to deal half. Now, again, I don't like the idea of them dealing half even to indicate it, so I'm going to try and think of, in time, another way so they can put half of their value of their number on top of their card. But then, again, yeah, it's just going into the Faro Shuffle, which then buffs it up automatically to become their position, to put their card at their position, which I just think is quite a cool thing. So I know there was a question about the Faro Shuffle. Let me try and find a better deck. I think this is a fresher deck. No, that's we can use these. They're red, blue back cards. With the Faro Shuffle, it's kind of hard to do. The first thing you want to do when you get your deck out of your box is, with a pair of jeans, rub the edges of the deck, right, just to break them in a little bit, like that, against the jean leg. And now, when I faro, I cut them about in half, right? And you can also look at this. And I'm going to try and show you to the camera. But basically, my angle is like a roof. So I try and hit them like a roof, like that. And I always start in the very corner. If you look from above, I'm not touching the whole... These are not flat. It's at an angle. Okay, so what I literally see, if I can try and show you... This is for the person asking to teach the Faro Shuffle. I use my pinky down here to keep them straight. My index finger here to keep these straight. And then I basically touch. And they should, depending on if it's bicycle or Carter Monday, start to faro. And once you've done 1 or 2, they'll break in. Like that. Then there's so many better lessons online, and sometimes depending on which card company you buy from, they'll faro better upside down or not. So bicycle, yeah, so you can see these cards would have been printed or cut in the orientation where they faro like this. And all I'm doing is literally making sure my pinky's at the bottom to keep it flat on the short edge, my index finger's at the top. I'm going to slightly angle like a roof, but not extreme, just slight. Touch the corners together, and it's just going to work automatically like that. And that's the Faro. And it's one of those things, there's not too much technique to it, but it is about just trying over again. I do know, though, with bicycle cards, so these, when these come out of the box, they would have been this face down, not the blue side up, which is I shouldn't be using this deck to show you. But certain companies will cut the cards either face up or face down. That will affect your Faro, so you might be finding that if you're using different decks by different companies. Okay. So that any card, any number idea, as you can tell, was terrible, but I think the idea can go further. So I hope you guys like that. Those gimmicks are insane. Genuinely blows my mind how you can come up with stuff like that. Thank you, man. I'm an only child, so I had a wasted youth. You can see I live in Port Call. There's nothing else to do but just jump in the sea. All right. Where are we in the comments? An ambitious card routine, mentalism, those gimmicks. Matt Hamilton. Is Murphy's throwing a party again? Not this year. Not this year. I do know they got... it wasn't... The casino weren't happy they had a party last time. They literally... It was the best part. They had a DJ. We had flashing wristbands. Everything. But no Murphy's party this year. I think they're a bit more stricter because of, COVID and things. On Stage VP podcast. How do the blindfold mentalism tricks work? There's a million different ways. I don't do anything with blindfolded mentalism at all. So I'm not the best person to speak to because I haven't created my own methods that I can share for it. And I can't share other people's methods for it. Michael, lol. Now I really need to know what you were smoking. Alex Bow, I rewatched Cognito Lessons and learnt Lux. Diogo Amorim, can I do a Svengali routine? Do you know what? I actually bought a Svengali deck from Wayne Fox's lecture a couple of weeks ago at the Cardiff Magic Society. And I have a bunch of stuff with Svengali decks. But I'm not going to show it to you right now because I'd like to do some other things to blow you guys away, because I think they're best used when you don't know or telegraph that you use them. Chris James. Been working on this idea since last night. Just a minute to come with it on a live. If you can get it to work, it's a game changer. Only 5 of us in the live at the time. Lips sealed, but I can't wait. Well, Chris James, what a tease. You can't just say that and then just not make me beg you to tell us what the idea is. But no, I get it. I know it. Loose lips sink ships. But dude, finish the idea and give me a heads up and show me what it is. And Clementi, sorry I'm late. Don't worry, dude. You've only missed the best stuff so far. You've missed all the cool gimmicks that we were showing, all the slow motion magic stuff, and all the royal flush change gimmicks that were never published. So don't worry, you haven't missed much at all. Jay Waters, hey, what's up, guys? Hey, Lloyd, how are you, buddy? What have we got going on here today? Jay, what's going on, dude? I believe you were one of the competition winners, right? Because if so, my mum posted out your shipment the other day. And actually, there was Lee, who asked for an autograph, that got his. Ophir Katz got his shipment sent to Israel. Jay, yours has been sent out, I think, in the mail. My mother's handling all other postage, by the way, so you can thank my mom, guys. Mad Skills, my handling of the ambitious card routine. So I don't actually do the ambitious card a lot, but I'll show you my handling. I won't teach it because it's not the bit that I love the most, because it's not mine, but I'll show it to you. So I try to strip out as many moves as possible. And what I don't like is when people say they're going to show an ambitious card routine and then they end up doing card to pocket or card to shoe. It's not the ambitious card. So my ambitious card is super straightforward. And it depends. I'm very playful with it, but there's one creation at the end that I love. So I wish I'd created it, but it's not mine. But I'll show you guys how it looks. And I'll show you by the one thing that I put to it. But let's say any card is chosen. So it's the 3 of hearts. And we put it in the center. The first thing, obviously, is it comes to the top. Okay. So we'll do it again. We'll leave it out jogged. Place it into the center, and just like this, it comes to the top. One last time, we'll place it in the center, just like that, and it comes to the top. Now, you probably all know what to look for. It's been coming to the top over and over, but I bet it'd be more impressive if I could turn it face up and we do it so you can all see what happens. So watch. We'll place it in the deck halfway down, face up, just like this. And I want you to watch super closely because you're going to see that card rise up to the very top, just like this. I don't think that was very clear for you. Let me try that again. Might be because the deck's battered, but you should see the deck move. See how it rises up through every other card in the deck? Comes to the very top, just like that. And that's a Sean Fields idea. And then this little thing that I published on here a couple of months ago, you can actually find it called Visual AF Ambitious, where it goes down into the center and then it visually rises up to the top, just like that. I kind of went out of camera shot then. I can teach you the little thing that I've created for it. I'll use a different deck that's probably better for it. But are these any good? That Sean Fields thing one more time. Let's say we take, look at that. Let's take a signed card. And I wish I'd created this. It's one of those things I wish I'd created, but it goes in the center, face up, so you can all see. Watch the edge of the deck as your card will rise to the very top, just like this. And that's Sean Fields' thing. And I'll show you the Visual Ambitious thing that I was just showing you, which is actually already on my YouTube, but it kind of looks like Fallen by Garcia, but it's completely a different principle where it rises up. And you can see just like that, it rises all the way to the top. And there it is. So, yeah, the Sean Fields thing, it's such a beautiful, especially in the flesh, where you can have it, I don't know if you can see, but it moves up, comes to the top of the deck, just like that. It's also Chris Kenner's shifty routine, right? Where you can place a card face up in the deck, like that. And you do this, and it comes a little bit further to the top. You do that, it comes a little bit further. You do this, it comes a little bit further, and you blow, and it rises all the way to the top. That's a great one. But I'll show you, well, actually, I'll ask you guys, you may not want to see that stuff. Do you want to see the little like thing that looked like Fallen on my one, but it wasn't? Or have you all watched the video on my channel yet? Because it is down on there from a couple of months ago. Whilst you're answering that, I'll answer some questions. But yeah, so Mad Skills, that's kind of like some stuff on the Ambitious card that I do. Arcade Magic, the bill pulled from phone screen. Do you know what, RK? It's so funny you mentioned that. I was revisiting that today. I think I first ever put that online on my Instagram 7 years ago. Yeah, 7 years ago, I think I first put it online. And yeah, I will revisit that, you know. Akash, yeah, the Faro needs to be perfect at the top. That's a great plot. Thanks, dude. Midrin says, where did that go? Just jumped. Lloyd, if you have a small bank of cards at the top while you're doing a Faro, can you do a kind of slip to cut the top block? You can, yeah. Just onto that Faro thing. I normally do this. I don't really care about the slip because it looks even more fair like you're cutting the cards anyway. So, for example, if I do a Faro and I have a chunk of cards here, see, like they didn't Faro, when I push it together like this, I'll get a break. And I'll just cut it in front of the audience because it looks more fair anyway, right? If you've got a big chunk of cards here and you get a break under these like that, and let me show you that break, then I'll just do a sloppy cut because why not? It looks like it's given an extra cut. And you can try and pass it, but it makes no sense. So, yeah, I do that. This hair needs a haircut for Magic Live. I'll go tomorrow. Lloyd, please, we need impromptu ordinary object effects because whenever you do your handle, you always seem beautiful and magical. Thanks, dude. I love, you know, impromptu stuff's like my bread and butter. Okay, this is amazing. I think I've seen similar from Paul Gertner, but not that. Hi there, cool twist on the shuffle. Master Luke said, oh my god, I tried it like a roof upside down with bicycle. Got it. It worked. It worked just now. Woohoo! Glad I could help, dude. I'm so glad I could help. Yeah. The one thing about Faro Shuffles is that people don't realize that certain companies will cut their cards in certain ways, and depending on which way, it'll just either Faro like a hot knife through butter, or it'll be like trying to chew tin foil. This is such a great feeling. Cards floating inside, exactly. Mad Skill says, I got small hands, which troubles me a lot while palming and working to do difficult sights. What should I do? Straight up, my hands are smaller than a card. So when I palm a card, you can actually see that is how it happens for me. So I don't have massive hands, and I always flash when I palm. But what I learned or taught myself very, very early on is that I play with my angles and I'm very aware. So when I do a classic palm, you'll see it actually sticks out for me. But I know at a certain point it doesn't. And the deeper you go into your palm, you can have the card stick out like this, right? You can literally have the card there. But if your hand is by your side, it's not visible. It's like a gambler's cop, right? The gambler's cop works because the card is sticking out of your hand. So it really doesn't matter all too much, because look, right here, that card is in view for me. The main thing is that you cover this inside track of your hand. So your finger to your thumb here, as long as that card is sitting deeper than that, you're normally covered. And if you're worried that it's going to stick out like this before you do it, go into palm as you come to your side, right? And think about that. Or do different palms. Do like a lateral palm, like this, or do a tenkai palm, do a gambler's cop. Like, I've never been able to do classic palm with coins, right? Never. Or I can't do it well. Never ever been able to do a muscle pass ever. So I just don't do them. I do not do them at all. And I've tried them practice for years. I just don't use them professionally, or in a performance venue. And I just do alternate moves. And I meant, like, for me, like, for example, with coins, my finger palm got really, like, well, I say that now, but it got really natural and comfortable, and like I could just hold it in finger palm a lot. Obviously, everyone can, but it became I can do it in a much more organic looking way, because I spent more time on perfecting other palms. So if you really stress about that, like, those are the tips that I say about palming. Tips and tricks performs acans. Tips and trick performs acans. Gemma Mandala Putra. I don't understand that. Pascal Rose. Hello. Have you heard about Tempest by Minnie Lenfield? Yes, I have. I was fortunate to see an advanced copy of it. I love the name. It's a very familiar name for me. I don't know where he came up with the idea, but it's a fantastic release. And actually, it is the definitive thing for me on watch stopping. It's fantastic. Very, 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 very good. He's a genius, that guy. Linus X. Do I remove the jokers from my everyday deck? I do remove the jokers. Yeah, I will keep hold of them, but just in case I want to tear them up or potentially use them. But 99 times out of 100, they are out of my deck, gone. Magic Milo, Joe, hi bro, Joe, Magic Milo. Arcane Magic, pulled my folding quarter out of my magic drawer the other day. Do you have any other uses for it other than the usual coin in bottle or bite? I used to do this cool thing with, briefly, and I actually did this out and about walk around, but Jared Manley is a fantastic creator. He's helped me with a lot of projects over the years, and he came up with a folding coin in a way. And I'm going back through my Instagram to try and find what I did, but you can do this very cool penetration effect with it using your phone screen. And I use it in a way like slightly differently to most folding coin stuff. So I'm going to try and quickly find that for you. Actually, I found it way quicker than I thought because I'm right by it. But this is one cool thing I used to do with this. And I found a video of Spectre if anyone wants to see it, because I had to refresh my memory on that. So I'll find it. So if you guys can see. Actually, Can't play licensed music, can we? So if I go back to the beginning. So this is a folding coin, but using the reflection on the phone screen, it looks like it goes inside the phone screen, which I thought was quite an interesting illusion. And there you can see I'm switching it for a real coin. But yeah, by using that, it looks like it melts into the phone, like deep into the phone. Which I thought was kind of cool. So that's one way that I've used a folding coin alternatively than you should, or than most people do. This is Spectre for anyone that hasn't seen it. So you take a bill and you slowly pull it out of your phone visually, just like that. No apps or anything. That's Spectre. Do you want to see it again? It's one of my favorite ever creations because it just looks so real. Yeah, so that's it. Funny someone mentioned that today. Thank you, RK, for doing that. Punk BMX, Lloyd, I have an app idea, performance idea, but not the skills to make the app. Just wondering if you had any advice for my first steps. Yeah, speak to some magic friends and get their opinions on it. And have a look if anything else out there exists already. And then look at app developers that exist and see who you'd like to speak to about making it a reality. Very exciting stuff. But yeah, so we've got David Peace here. Spent all week adding new routines to an PWA app I made, up to 7 routines. David reminds me I need to get in touch and see that app. I know you've messaged me. It's just been a crazy week, as you guys can imagine, with Lux and Magic Live coming up. But yes, I will get back to you. Christian, waiting for my 3rd Lux. I want backups. I love it so much. Any word on when the new shipment is coming? Updates. Yes, Lux updates. I do know that as we go further and further on into Lux sales, we're air shipping them now because air shipping costs a bomb. But people are desperate for them. So quick, like a few weeks max, I think, for the next batch, even 2nd, 3rd, 4th batches. I don't know. There's a lot. There's a heck of a lot. Okay, more questions. Jay Waters, yes, I did win. Thanks again. Really appreciate it. Wasn't sure because I didn't think your MMS is my address. Yeah, no, yours has been sent out, dude. I'd love to get autographed playing card from you as possible. I collect them. Yeah, I actually did a big batch of autograph cards this week. So if you email me at admin@lloydbarnes.co.uk with your address, I will send you a signed card in the post. How do I work when creating the actual method? Lost the correct words. When creating a trick. I think I have a trick in my mind that would be great, but I have no idea how to execute it. There's a lot of different ways you can do it, but depending on the trick, it will depend on the method. For example, if it's a trick which is a common plot in Magic, like triumphs or any card, any numbers, or coin and bottle, then you need to look at what exists out there and see if the method has been done before. And if it hasn't, see what you don't like about all of those effects, and potentially what you do like about those different effects, or the different ways they've been created by different people, the approaches that they've taken. I would say also, don't just create for the sake of it too. Like if you just think that you want to do your own triumph, don't just create for the sake of it. Maybe find something unique about why you want to create your own triumph. Do you want to do it in the spectator's hands or when the cards are spread on the table, for example? If the effect you're creating is something like Lux, where like there's not really much or anything like it before, then it's about experimenting, just looking outside of Magic, or looking in other areas where potentially, like if it's a technology-based thing, if anything similar exists out there in anything outside of Magic, or just R&D, which just means putting a bit of investment in. It might mean that you have to, whatever you're doing, you could have to invest in materials, you could need to hire a gimmick builder, you could need to buy thermochromic and hydrochromic and photochromic paints to make it work and come to light. But sometimes, to get to the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, sometimes you have to dip your hand in your pocket and just invest a little bit and start trying to build with it. Master Luke says, so how many decks do I use for daily training? I have these decks here because I've been filming videos for when I go away to hit the schedule for YouTube. I've got some really cool stuff coming out. I think you guys are going to love it, by the way. But as a rule, I will tend to just use the same deck for weeks and weeks and weeks at a time. I've actually had this Tally-Ho deck open for 4 or 5 months. In fact, in that Visual Ambitious card, which is called Visual AF card routine, which is in my YouTube, this is the deck from there, and I still pick it up and use it. So normally I have like 2 or 3 decks around that I'll just play with for like weeks and weeks and months and months. You can see these, you can just see a faint cross on them where the UV's gone old. I've been using these for months, and these are the ones you see me using in videos and stuff all the time. I even post shorts with them. Like, I tend to just use the same deck over and over and over again. But I do have dry skin, like pretty dry hands, so my decks don't get as screwed up as quickly as other people's. Tom Gibbons, Lloyd Clinton, happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you, happy birthday Tom Gibbons, happy birthday to you. Michael, with the top palm one, if you know the Eclipse Shift, you can also achieve the same effect. You can, and I've spoken with people about this before, but it doesn't look as good. And you can't show the deck cleanly all around because the bottom card is face up. And when you do the move and you shake, it happens so much faster from a one-hand top palm than a Eclipse Shift with a card has to move. You have to do this whole thing before it comes to top, whereas with the one-hand top palm, it can immediately appear. So you can do it with Eclipse Shift, but it's a lot more. It's not as good. It doesn't look as good, and you can't show as cleanly. But it does end cleaner, so there is that payoff as well. There's that sort of trade-off. So, K. Scott Vance, upside down one, nice job. Any tip? Pugu says, any tips on gluing together split cards? Best glue to use. Yeah, where is it? Elmer's glue, man. It's pretty much the best stuff to use for split cards. If you don't know, it's there. Elmer's rubber cement. I know it's hard to get in certain countries, so you can use like these sort of glue sticks stuff, which will kind of do the job. The biggest tip with Elmer's glue is that you want to spread it as finely as possible. You want to just be super, super, super thinly spread with it. And also, once you're thinly spread with it, thin it out some more. So for me, like if I put it on the back of a card, I'll then take like a plastic card and also try and scrape loads off. You'll be surprised how much will come off. And yeah, always get into the corners and stuff. But then let it dry. So you let it before sticking it together. You put it on both halves. So say I'm putting this card together face to face and it's been peeled. Thin layer of glue on both sides. Scrape that layer down so it's even thinner again. Wait for them to dry for 5 minutes. Then stick them and it'll be next to perfect. Obviously, you then place them in between the pages of an old book. Weight that down and you'll have a really, really fresh, crispy split card glued together. But yeah, just for anyone asking, it's this stuff. Alex Bow, how's the new app coming along? Josh has been putting loads of work into it. And yeah, we said we'd be opening up for testing this week. This week got away from us a little bit, as you probably realised. But this Magic Live actually, if anyone's going to be there, then drop me a like if you're going to be there or if you want to be there. And drop a like if you want to see some performances from Magic Live uploaded as shorts whilst I'm away of Maxim. But yeah, we'll be sort of unveiling it a little bit at Magic Live. Captain Card Magic. I love that name, Captain Card Magic. Hey, how you doing? Darwisi Magician. Do I have triple helix? I do not have triple helix, but I wish I did because it looks amazing. Chris James, dude, I've been thinking about Out to Lunch and Lux. Can we jam that for a second on here? Can I hear your thoughts on this? I feel like there's something huge here. Yeah, dude, Chris, what have you been thinking then? Out to Lunch and Lux. Where's your head going with it? I've never thought about using Out to Lunch with Lux, but you're right. There is something there, and it could be fantastic. What I see, dude, actually, What's nice about that is that with Out to Lunch, you could, because this is the fake half of the card at the top. When it's in the wallet and there's a rubber band around it or whatever, you can show them that it says, for example, Lloyd at the top, and then the spectator can write with a Sharpie any word they want here. Then when you take it out, they won't even notice that this has changed because the UV light isn't on it, but it can change to something else. And then but the spectator will still see their signature there. So it's like a right in there, it's like a really in their face, but also not in their face version of Out to Lunch. Is that where your head's going? If it is, I think that's really good. I think that's really cool. I think there's way more. You're right, there's a lot you can do with it. RK Magic. Any update on when me and Javier's index will be released? No update as of right now because we had a massive breakthrough with it about 2 to 3 weeks ago. It's already thinner than a card box in width. And what we've done with it now is made it thinner again using a completely different material. And it's insane. But we do need people to make that. So we're just sending out prototypes. I know everyone's been waiting for it a long time. Random huge magicians from around the world, I don't even know how they know about it, have messaged me asking for a prototype. But we're even delaying them. I don't care how long it takes. Because when it comes out, we want everyone to be like, wow, this is the one. So I would love it to come out tomorrow, but it's more than likely going to be, no earlier than like August, September. Jay Waters, Tenkai palm to lateral palm gives the great illusion of an empty hand because you can move all of your fingers. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Lateral, where's the camera? Yeah, it's a lateral to Tenkai, Tenkai to lateral. That's true. Yeah, it does give you, it makes it look very, very open. Captain Car Magic. Lux is insane. Your ideas on magic are so amazing. Thank you so much, dude. I really appreciate it. Mad skills. Thank you. Great advice. Doesn't work. Find something else that does. Yeah, man. Brendan Latkovich, where have you been? Howdy, buddy. I thought you were going to be in here earlier. Master Luke, about palm and small hands. I play an Ibanez gem on stage. I think an Ibanez is a guitar, even, right? My hands are tiny. You can do it. It needs work, maybe 30 years. I try guitar, and it's not that my fingers don't work for it. I have the dexterity, I think, but I do not have the patience. I do not have the patience. Nevio, hi Lloyd. Hi Nevio. How are you doing, buddy? Long time no speak. K. Scott Vance. Your thoughts on Tenyo, and do you incorporate them at all? Yes. I love Tenyo. In fact, hold that thought. My ass sticking out. You see these bad boys? It's the Tenyo-ism books. Literally the heavy... Listen to this. When I put them down, ready? Boof. He went through to another country. I love Tenyo. I create a lot of magic based on like Tenyo style things. You'll see the pen through card that I did the other week, which is this. Is it this one? Yes, this one. Let me see. I went through. This was based off the old Tenyo trick where you put it in the yellow board and the pen goes in and it moves all around in the hole and it comes out the other hole. This was based off that because I didn't like the fact that neither the pen nor the object could be examined, especially like when people do it with cards and other and Sharpies, because when you're performing, both hands are dirty at the end. Whereas with this, you only need to like borrow any Sharpie, and then as you're handing one object out, you can do the double for the other one. Did you all see that online? Look at how that works. How weird is that? Anyway, yeah, so I love Tenyo. I created the Vanishing AirPods that I think Illusionist just released. Or I sent them, I created them, designed them all fully, sent them the design just before I quit there. And then they went and released them. Unfortunately, I think they didn't update the design to make it fit like current AirPods, or even have a space to actually put real AirPods in it, which is a shame. But that was based off like a Tenyo style magic, like toys made to feel sort of modern. Basically, like Tenyo is like toy magic with like genius methods. So I thought it would be good to take some of these ideas or base some stuff off it and make them more current. And at one point, a couple of years ago, I was working officially with Tenyo to create a range of, take an existing part of their range and make it more modern. And unfortunately, that never actually came to fruition. But yeah, I was actually working with Tenyo to do that, which is a shame because I would love to have brought that out to the market, the stuff I was working on. So yeah, Tenyo is amazing. Any tips on tying Prim thread? Yeah, Prim thread, I tend to... One tip you can get is if you get a clothes peg, you know, a clothing peg, then when you tie your first knot in Prim thread, you can put a clothing peg over the card and the knot. And then when you tie another knot, you can actually tie it into say the peg's clamped like this, right? That top half of the peg here, when you tie the second knot, you can tie it under the peg and you can wedge it under, and then you're very, very hands-free. So using a clothing peg, I teach that on the Acme Hall download. You can use clothing pegs to tie it. It makes it really, really easy. So go and figure that out. If you want me to, I'll make some sort of video. I'll get a clothing peg to teach you more up close. But it's super easy with a clothing peg. I use a wooden clothing peg, if that helps at all. Tyler Lunsford in the chat. Can't wait to... Tyler, you're going to be at Magic Live. What? Oh, already in talks with sheep farmers in Nevada, so don't worry. You had to go there. You had to go there. Thanks, Tyler. Dude, I can't wait to finally hang out with you. This has been years and years in the making. If you don't follow Tyler Lunsford Magic, guys... Go and check out his YouTube channel. He's one of the reasons I got started in YouTube. He's inspiring. He's amazing. Does incredible review videos. Go and check out Tyler's channel. But man, I can't wait to hang out with you. This is gonna be dope. Okay, even more excited to go now. Masaluke, Spec. I'm guessing Spectre is awesome. Mad skills. Can you show me a DPS, diagonal palm shift? I can, but I'll show you badly because I don't do it. I don't ever practice it. I don't do it, but I'll show it to you, or at least how I can do it. And I'll tell you what I do badly about it as well. If that helps. So, I don't know if this is a terrible angle. The diagonal palm shift looks like this. Oh God, I'm so bad at it. I'm so bad at it. At least I know I'm bad at it though. Some people don't know they're bad at it. So it goes in, here. Oh my gosh. I can't even look at myself. This is how bad I am. So it goes in. And out. Oh God, that's so bad. Anyway, what everyone does wrong is that their fingers will ripple as it comes out, just like I do. So the card comes out at an angle, and as they do the steal, people will ripple their fingers like this. So they'll come out and they'll do a ripple. See here, you feel like you need to. That's where the most fault lies with the DPS when people do it. It's the same reason why I'm so bad at it, but I try to get rid of it. But again, it goes into the center, and should be still now. The angle should be more like this, so you're at a head height as opposed to straight on. But comes here, and then I'm so bad at it, but I can't believe you're making me do this, guys. This is awful. Yeah, DPS, last one. Do it face up. Oh God, how bad am I at that? Anyway, I feel like I need to practice it now. So in and out. Out the center. Super duper bad. But I don't do it because I have other things in place. For me, I'd rather do this than a DPS. So let me see if I can get the angle correct. Let's say we choose the 5 of clubs, and the 5 goes into the deck. And I would just have the spectator shuffle the cards, so they'll have them shuffle. And I can steal that 5 out. Again, if you're going to do it, you can do it from a DMB spread or convincing control, whatever that thing is, where it's here. And you can ask someone, can they go ahead and push it in? And then you've stolen it out. And all I'm doing is coming from the cull and then going straight into cop. And then as I come over, I grip it like that to hand out. Try not to do this weird stuff like Spider-Man either. So there. Hand it out. That's what I'd rather do. I feel like that is more natural, and also this position just looks more fair as opposed to being very squared off. You know, when you place it in, put it in, that doesn't feel as natural, doesn't look as organic as just being like, hey, stick it in the deck, go ahead and shuffle them up. I don't want to touch them. Like that just feels more natural to me. But yeah, you SOBs. That's my terrible handling of the DPS. You're welcome. Okay. Can you be releasing a Magic product? Get a name in the Magic community. Ragni boy, I think. Can you get a name in the Magic community by releasing a Magic product? Absolutely, yeah. I mean, I don't perform, so I didn't build my name, if I have one, off performing Magic or being a great performer or doing TV shows or this, even YouTube. Like I didn't, like, this isn't my start. This isn't where most people know me from. It's from releasing Magic effects. So yeah, absolutely you can. Brazen Magic, the coin on screen, would you say that's more social media effect, or could you do it in the real world? Yeah, you can totally do it in the real world, man. Because it's a folding coin, but it's Jared Manley's folding coin. So a folding coin isn't really hard to see. You just have to make sure they can see the reflection of it in the screen. But it's just a folding coin, really. His was like a magnetic one, and it didn't have elastic bands in. So that's what I used that effect for, like that. And it was £1, which had thicker sides. But email in now. What's the email address? Email address is admin at lloydbarnes.co.uk. LLOYDBARNES.co.uk. David Peace, with you going to Magic Live next week, do you have any impromptu style magic you can specifically do on a plane if someone asks? I've done a lot of impromptu magic on a plane. Me and Madison have sat next to some London-based solicitor, lawyer girl, and did magic on a plane for ages. One of the things I used was Olivia Bose's star sign revelation, which had a really, really powerful effect on her, which is good. And I have a bunch of apps on my phone which I can use to do stuff. I also can try to borrow coins on a plane if that helps. But also I'll always wear rubber bands, so I'll always be doing some rubber band stuff if I get like caught short. And it's nice. I tend to like say that I keep the rubber bands for my passport. I have a bunch of flying tips, so I've done like so much traveling that it's depressing in my life. And one of the tips that I'll tell every traveler is always carry a pen. It's one of those weird things, but it'll save you bacon a lot. But carry a pen, but then I'll put elastic band around my pen and passport, and now I'm set for an organic version of Crazy Bands. But I'm trying to think, what else would I do? So I do Olivia Bo's star sign revelation. There's Pete Turner's star sign revelation as well, which works fantastic. I will always have a deck of cards on me on a plane. But here's a great tip. If you're going to fly, if any of you are flying on a plane, one of the first things I ever put out to the Magic community, and I believe Chris Ramsey taught this on his channel. Don't know if he credited me or not, but it was the very first thing I ever did. If you'll get deck click from flying so much, that's where your deck will click, and even if you're not flying, there's like humidity in the air in some countries. Like I've been to Manila and South Asia, or Asia and things. Your deck will get that deck click. So what you need to do is, before you put the deck away, every single time is faro it face up into face down. And that, which I figured out a long time ago, will cause the opposing forces to not play on each other, and it'll keep the deck perfectly flat. So I went through an obsession with having pauper clips for years, and once I figured that out, the pauper clips went. But yeah, so that's a great piece of advice for anyone, I think, is if you are going to fly, you're likely to get deck click, or you could, because just the change in like atmospheric pressure and humidity, because it's controlled environments, you're likely to get deck click. So go away with your cards, faro together, face up into face down. And the good thing about that is, if you are in stack and they're faro together, face up and face down, you just take every other card out or cull them out. And when you put it back together, they'll still be in stack, even though it looks like it's really shuffled, which will catch so many people out. Okay, where are so many comments? I'm trying to go through them as fast as I can. Gabrielle Pereira, can I teach us some more switching gimmicks, please? Oh, I am teaching you a new switching gimmick, and it's coming on the 17th It's either the first Tuesday of Magic Live or the following Tuesday after, but I've already scheduled a video. It's a new switching gimmick coming out. Master Luke, thanks. Tuna Odd Fellow. The people who sell decks like to see us open as many fresh packs of cards as possible. Oh, cool. I don't. I just use the same decks over and over. Grusin. Elmer's, is that kind of glue you paint brush on, right? Yes, man. This is so... Elmer's glue has a little brush. What's nice about this is that if you do get it on your skin, you can just literally like roll it up and it'll turn into like a little glue ball and it won't stick and destroy everything like super glue does. Although I bought this super glue the other day. I'm not going to show the brand in case it's not worth it, but I got it on my fingers because I'm an idiot. And it was really good super glue. It stuck what I needed to stick. And then it just peeled off my fingers. I don't know what this is, but it's so good. From the cheap shop in Porthcawl. Alex Bow, will there be a Sunday session next week? I believe there will be. And it'll be live from Magic Live. Myself and Bo and hopefully Titanus. If we can pin him down, we'll be doing it live from Magic Live. Michael. Regarding my Eclipse Shift comment, yeah, you're right. My thinking tends to be more on Daryl's camp, rest in peace, which is why I prefer to end clean. But you're right. What you've shown is more visual. Yeah, and on that, I'll talk about, because I won't talk about Sean Fields' method, but I will talk about the one-hand top palm element of it. So there's a few ways to sort of end clean. And the reason I do this way is because I've performed this so much. I know that this is for me, this makes sense in performing. If I was doing this to camera, I wouldn't have figured this out, but this comes from doing it so much. So with a card second from top, you do the Sean Fields thing where it comes to the top, and then you shake and it appears here. And all I do in the real world is I say, hold your hand out, and I pass it to them. Right? So I hand them the card because all the heat's here. And as they do that, I do this. And I'm dropping that card off, right? So I'm getting a card into top palm. All the heat's here. I literally pass it off to them and I can show my hand like that. And it looks like nothing happens, right? It looks like nothing happens, but I'll do it face up so you can see. So when the card goes into one hand top palm, I hand them the card, boom, and my hand comes like this and I drop it on top. So the other way, like when you see me do it and I was palming it off completely, so I go here, like that, what I would do is hand that to someone and just come up like that and replace the card. So you see I'm here, like there's the card, and as I come over I can replace it. But in the real world, this card is second from top. I make it appear. I literally hand everyone the card, and then I can just do this, and it's just super duper clean. I also have something called the Cpr Change, which, let me see if I can show you, from a one-hand position. So like this is an Eclipse Shift. You can make the card sort of return. And again, it's basically, I just throw the cards on the floor just like that. But it's a way of replacing a card from a top palm position. It's called CPR, stands for Classic Palm Replacement. But yeah, that's what I do in the real world. Oh man, those cards are everywhere. Well, not using these again. What can I use? We'll use these. Bye. All right, how are we getting on for time? Blimey, 6:10 in the UK. We've been going for like over an hour. We're going to wrap it up soon, but I will try to finish the comments. Punk BMX, Lux idea. I'm talking to my friend who's a tattooist and he's excited about using UV tattoo ink to use in the reveals and their effects. Yeah, I can't. I'm getting a UV tattoo. I'm going to get a couple. I can't wait to get them. Brazen says, when would Maxim roughly be released? We're thinking July 7th, I believe. Master Luke, you're a true best of what human can be. Thank you for being here. Thank you so much for coming here, man. I really appreciate you tuning in and taking part in the conversation. Brazen, just to mention, I've had some real world experience with Lux, and seriously, it's a monster in a small body. Thank you, man. Thanks, Brazen. Lindsay Harvey, any tips on having an awesome wife? Oh, man. Tips on having an awesome wife. I don't know if I told you guys the story. I think I've told the story before. It goes on for a while, but Kaylee is a fan of magic. She loved magic before, I say meeting me, but reconnecting with me, because we went to the same high school together, but reconnected after 17 years. One thing I would say is just find someone that shares the same interests and life qualities that you look for, and don't settle, you know, like go for someone that's just perfect for you, and then it'll happen. But yeah, like Kaylee loves traveling. She's like lived in Australia and different things. She loves magic. She loves having fun, and she's a good laugh. And like that's how I live my life. I travel, I do magic. I love having a laugh. I don't take things too seriously. And so fireworks. Brooklyn Magic. Hey, hope you're well. Love, luck so much. Thank you so much, dude. Thank you, man. I really appreciate it. Alex Bow. Me and Craig doing a podcast live from Magic Live. We should be doing a podcast live from Magic Live. I don't know if it'll be live, but we'll record it there at least. And I believe we're doing the Magic Podcast show live at Blackpool again this year, which I found out this morning, as well as some other extremely exciting news for you guys. I think you guys are going to love what I found out, which I can't tell you. Michael, Alex Pandrea, where was that? I was on the phone to Alex Pandrea a couple of weeks ago. Has an excellent DPS tutorial on his channel. It's dope. Yes, go and learn the diagonal palm shift from Alex Pandrea. He does it so well, and I'm so terrible that I should not have even attempted it on here. Dave Christmas. Yo, Lloyd, thank you for my autograph. Amazing. Dave Christmas also, are you able to show us the best color change? So Dave Christmas asked my autograph in the session last week by email. And I signed a card for Dave and had my mum post it out to him this week. So obviously you've received it. You're very welcome. The best color change. Well, I can show you one based off that. Is it off this? No, this one. Which one was it? I can show you this the Cpr color change, which I used to do years ago. It's not good. It's not the best, but I'll show you it. You'd show a 7 of spades on top, right? So is it? Wait, let's. God, I need to remember this. But let's say this is the chosen card. It gets lost. No, we'll do this. Forgive me, guys. I am not well practiced. All right. So let's say the 10 of clubs is selected and lost somewhere into the deck. You can see it's not on bottom. You can see it's not on top. That's the 7 of spades. But watch the 7 of spades, because if I shake it like this, it becomes the 10 of clubs. And that's an old thing. God, I actually put that out as an instant download. I did really well with it, considering this is back years ago when sleight of hand downloads were really popular. That's called Cpr Change. You can even probably Google and look for the old trailer. Master Luke. I tried Out of Order by Angelo Carbone. Saw this kid on Penn and Teller ripping it. But Angelo himself told me it will not be available again. So is it just D-lift or paper? Maybe paper? Oh. Out of Order by Angelo Carbone. Sick. I seen Ryan Tricks fooling everyone at Blackpool with that. He was just walking around just showing everyone Out of Order. And he was just destroying everyone with it. It's so good. It's not my method to teach or talk about. Gruson, the best way to train sleight of hands is to wear some boxing gloves or mitts. yeah, for sure. The one thing I'd say about training sleight of hand is don't train it. Don't practice it. I don't practice, and I mean this in a different way to what you're probably thinking. I don't practice particularly any sleight. Like I don't sit down and go, I'm going to learn a double lift today. I don't do it. I constantly hold coins, cards, rubber bands. I hold these objects in my hands. I learn about the sleight. So if I'm going to learn about a sleight, for example, like an Erdnase color change, I will learn how it works. I'll read the book how it works, and then I'll just sort of go through the motions a little bit. I won't sit down and give myself an hour of learning time. I won't segment it out. I will just keep that in my peripheral conscious. And I'll start to just add it into my muscle memory bank. And I will just go over it, and I won't think about it. I won't make it difficult for myself. I won't make it a thing. I'll just kind of go through it, which sounds a bit counterintuitive. But I find for me, if I sit down and try to learn something and make it like a block off hour, like I'm going to sit down and learn the Eclipse Shift for an hour, I find it doesn't sink in as well, or I don't end up doing it as naturally as if I just add it, if I just practice it as I throw it into my normal card handling. I feel it ends up becoming a lot more fluid if it's just thrown in as I'm just handling cards when I'm at home. I don't know, it's a weird thing, but I've never practiced so much as just like handled. Mad Skills, in India it's 10:30 p.m. That's our sleeping time, so thank you so much, dude. I won't be far behind you. I'll be logging off soon as well. Michael, would I ever consider dabble in the performing world? I perform to laymen. I just don't do it for money, and I've been offered lots of money in the past to perform. I've been offered money to do. I got offered to do what is it, nightclub opening once for £15,000, which was stupid to me because I don't know why they offered me that, but someone offered me £15,000 to do this gigantic nightclub opening, which I turned down. So, you know, one day I will, but I love performing. I just don't want to do it for money. I think it takes the beauty of it for me. I just do it for layman. Tom Gibbons, any tips for memorizing mnemonica? Yeah. My tip for mnemonica is get a coffee or a cup of tea, get the Tamariz mnemonica book, properly get the book. Get yourself on a day when you have no other commitments, sit in a room, and it'll take you about 3 hours. Do it in the morning when you're like, after you've woken up a little bit, turn the TV off, turn the radio off, and learn it. And it'll only take about 3 hours. Once you've learned it, you'll learn it for life, and then you can just refresh it every now and then. But I would say get a drink, give yourself like 3 hours in a room, no TV, no distractions, no phone, and learn it. Philippe says, beautiful palm, thanks dude. Has designs. Lloyd, any fixes for my Lux? The UV light turns on instead of mode switcher when holding the button. I have changed batteries and everything, and nothing helps. Depending on how that is looking for you, if you've watched the full instructions, you understand that you have to hold it down to turn it on, and then it goes, and then hold it down to turn off mode switcher. You may have an issue with if it potentially might be an issue for you. So I'll try and show you with this unit what you should be doing. Once it's like, leave it off for 5-10 minutes and then try this. So take the button, where is it? There, and hold it down till you see a light flash, like that. Once you see a light flash, hold it down again, and that mode will now be set. Now when you tap it, not hold it, so tapping it, it should go on and off. If that's not running in sequence for you, if that's not working for you, then you may have, there's a 3% fail rate on average, and it looks like there's a 3% fail rate is about accurate for Lux as well on all manufactured products. We're not Apple, we're not Tesla, we're not using we're not using the world's best, $1 billion state-of-the-art robots to do micro manufacturing. We're just using the same manufacturers everyone else is using. And with that, you do get like around an average. And this is with all products, 3% failure rate. So you may really be unfortunate and be in that bracket. And if you are, I apologize. I wish we could have known before you got it. But if that is the case, then your dealers will replace it for you. And they should do it hopefully quickly. And also for the people that are having replacements, we have set aside units for you, even though every other unit is sold out around the world. So you should be able to have that fixed in no time. Brazen Magic says, you should rate the latest releases. Forecast by Craig Petty. Is this a great stepping stone for anyone who wants to learn mnemonica? In fact, I'm going to do it on an episode of Fuller one week. But Forecast is great for a lot of different reasons. And it's hard to get into them all here, but for complete beginners, or for people that have never used stack work, even if you've memorized it, it's kind of got something for everyone, and Craig really goes over a lot. And for advanced users, there's something for those too. I think there's like 3 effects for those, which are great. One in particular I love. So I would really recommend it. It's really, really, really solid release. K. Scott Vance, I'd love to see a card to pocket projects. Your thoughts? I do card to pocket quite a lot, especially when I perform for people. I don't do too much crazy stuff with it. For me, it's pretty standard. But the one thing I do, and this seems kind of silly to say, but I get really, really far ahead of it mentally in the spectator's mind. So a lot of magicians will have a card signed and they'll palm it out and then go to the pocket, load it in the pocket, and immediately pull it out. Or they'll load it in the pocket and come back to it in like a few seconds, boom, and reveal it. What I do is, depending on which way I do it, but say I go from here, I'll cop the card out, right? What I'll do at this point is I'll ask them to hold their hands out, like in front of them, and I'll place the deck in their hands. As I do that, I immediately drop it in my back pocket. And I'll try and create as much time delay from that as possible. So, especially if they got the card out jogged. So if I do like when there's the Marlowe like slip control or the Sadowit slip, sorry, I'll leave that sticking out. I'll try, if I place that in their hands with this card sticking out, I will try to delay the revelation for as long as possible. So the longer the better, like Max Bellini said, wait a week if you have to. But if I can put that in their hands with the card sticking out, right, then eventually what I'll do is I'll square that card in, but I'll make sure they really believe it's there. Like I'll talk more about that in the future, but I'll make them really try to believe that it's there. And this is all about being simplistic and open. That's why I think doing like a DPS and making it all thingies is okay. But if they really believe their card's there, for example, if you show them like a DMB spread control, convincing control, and you say, look, I'm going to leave the card out jogged, hold your hand out like a table. I'm not going to do any funny moves. I want to place the cards in your hand like this. I'll load the copped card. So now they really think it's here. And I'll very fingertips, very like I'm just trying to be very delicate. I'm just tapping it in. I say, look, I want you to see I'm not doing any special moves in your hands. And I'll do all this stuff. And I'll really try and be a bit clumsy, but also delicate to not flip it. Then I'll basically what I'll do is I'll just extend that time period as long as I can, but also like focusing on the fact that they really think their card is like in their hands, and I'll place other people's hands around the deck then, right? So eventually it's here, and it just creates this like massive time gap before I'll either pretend to throw it up in the air and catch it in my back pocket, or make it transfer into my back pocket, or use like DFB. I've seen Madison Adam Hagler say that it was using DFB in conjunction with Mark Elsdon's Ouroboros idea, which is in short with DFB, you write down 50 different outs or 100 different outs for playing cards, and then you're obviously going to actually force the same out. So in DFB, I have it set up to say in the magician's back left pocket. So when they get DFB, I say, look, there's 100 different locations here, under your drink, under my drink, in my pocket, in your pocket, in my right pocket. I get them to name a number, they go to it, and it shows all those, and it says in the magician's back left pocket. Now, you remember, I haven't just introduced the phone for the sake of forcing it. I've introduced that phone to give me even more time away from the deck in their hands, so it's even further away. They're really not connecting this with sleight of hand anymore. They're really believing it. And then so eventually it ends up at this point where the spectators have their hands sealed around a deck. They really, really, really believe their card is in the middle of that deck. And then somebody is thinking of a location for the card to transpose to. And then eventually I'll try and get at least an actual real world 2 minutes gap here. And then when you reveal it in the pocket, it amplifies and it blows up. And I've actually used this as my finale effect quite a lot. So that's my approach on card to pocket. I don't just throw it in as like a boom, it's in my pocket, boom, it's in my pocket. I think you can actually make it into something very special with just a bit more thought on the presentation. Me talking about card to pockets, what's going on? Where are the, oh my god, so many comments, right? Mitchell Ward, what tricks can your wife perform? She can do pen through bill, I taught her. She can now do spring. Yeah, that went live. She can do she can do cognito. She's performed cognito actually a few times. She could do Maxim. Erica Dvorsak. Hey Lloyd, I've been really enjoying your videos. Which lenses are those over there? We got So we have a 100mm macro lens, and this is for doing anything close up, and especially product photography. And this is actually Peter McKinnon's macro lens. This is Pete McKinnon's macro lens. The exact one. Then I have a 24 to 70. Is it 24 to 70? Yeah, a 24 to 105 lens. I don't use this very often at all. And then I also have this is what I shoot everything with. This is the 24mm USM2. Again, McKinnon told me to get this years ago. He says it's the best for shooting close up magic, so I've been using that ever since, and that's the 24 USM2. That's my favorite lens in the world, actually. I would, if that's one lens to live with, that would be it. All right. Muppet on meds. Rick Lax at Penguin has a good teaching on memorizing mnemonica deck. People swear by it. Cool. Yeah, there's also a mnemonica book that somebody's written, not Tamara's, but something like it's called like the memory arts, I believe. The irony of me not being able to remember that, first of all. That's they teach like a story that will teach you mnemonica, or they give you a story that will teach you mnemonica or something, and apparently it's very, very good. Brazen Magic. Second question is Tempest the watch effect. From what you can see, is it beginner, intermediate, or advanced? As the possibilities for this is crazy. Time stopping plus lux equals being called a warlock. Whoa, yeah. So my Tempest effect is an app that I released through Illusionist many, many years ago, which I don't believe is on sale anymore. And if it goes back on sale, it's got nothing to do with me. Tempest from Manny Lindfield is the watch effect. From what I can tell, it's sort of like, yeah, I'd say it's pretty beginner. Like, you don't need to do a lot for it. It's minimal sleight of hand, like something does the work for you. It's because watch magic is like such a niche of its own. Like, everyone's sort of a beginner when they delve into it a little bit. So I would say, yeah, anyone should be able to do it. And I've seen your performance videos. You can perform, dude. So you shouldn't have any problems with it. You'd be good. If nobody knew you, they could look at an effect release outside of Lux. What would... Oh, brilliant. Okay, so nobody knew me and could look at an effect I release outside of Lux. What effect would define me? Oh, I don't know. What would define me? Most people probably know Acme Hole. I think the change effect years ago would define my type of creativity, because I released this more of a statement than as a product. It was just, everyone was releasing every trick that came out that had a color change with a flat card for years. And it made me go insane. And so I wanted to show the magic world that you could do things differently. So maybe change, because it was just a statement on doing things differently. And failing that, probably Cognito. Dave Curtis, thank you. Why does everything sound so interesting with a British accent from... That's from Natty. I don't know. I don't think my accent's that British. I used to have a very strong Welsh accent. Welsh people talk a lot like this, like Tom Jones and what's his name? I've forgotten his name. Anthony Hopkins. I'm from, like, Anthony Hopkins was born like 10 miles away, I think. Michael, also, I can't believe the number of likes are less than the total number of people watching. Yeah, I know. Add some more likes onto the channel then. Gabriel Pereira. Hey, Lloyd, can you please make a CPR change tutorial? Yeah, I'll do that in the coming weeks. I'll do that, because I know you guys want to see more sleight of hand tutorials, so I'll do that. Thomas Conger. That's exactly how I practice for years. I let what comes natural to me show up after learning everything I can daily. Yes, Thomas, that is the way, man. I'm telling you, it's just... Yes, you get what I mean. Thank you for getting it. Great. Thanks for today's stream, mate. Have a super nice day. Take care. Thanks for joining in, Groot. Michael, so what were you smoking when you turned those upside down again? I actually don't smoke, and I don't smoke weed, so it was probably just eating chocolate or eating pizza. Brazen Match, come on, hit that like button. Yes, my guy, like. All right. Oh my God, we're actually getting to the end of the comments. Okay, so I'm gonna wrap up soon, but I'll finish you last guys' comments off. Hit that like button for me if you've been enjoying the stream so far. But Master Luke, I'm so sorry, I need to leave. No, dude. Oh, my dog. Okay, yo, don't ever explain for a dog. I love dog. But thanks for tuning in, Master Luke. Dave Loosely. Oh, Dave, welcome to the channel, dude. He says, you're crushing it, buddy. Hope you're well. What crazy gimmicks have you got on the table behind you? Oh man, I'm just wrapping up the stream, but I went through a bunch of stuff. I don't know if you've seen this earlier. It was such a stupid thing. Little color changing thing that works with little... This was... You understand gimmicks, Dave. This was actually way more of a pain in the arse than you'd realise, because the tops had to align with the second piece down, but then it would just give me like this. Nice color change. I was showing everyone some old change gimmicks that never got released. So one was a royal flush thing. You'd hold cards like that, and it with like an ace in front of it or something. I was showing... What else was I showing, man? This, which is like a... Oh, no, not that. Angle 0 version of it. These are not like the cool ones, but they're okay. Which other one was there which people liked? This one, which was... Oh, did they all just come out? Yeah, they did. A T and R change gimmick. So it's like a missing corner. Yeah, that's that stuff. What else was I showing? Did I show any other more gimmicks, guys? My brain's gone to mush because I can't talk for too long. But keep an eye on the channel. I got some really, really, really interesting gimmicks coming up in the next few weeks to show. But thanks for tuning in, Dave. I hope you're keeping well, buddy. Tam says, hello, I just joined. What did I miss? Tam, you missed like everything because I'm about to log off. So go back to the beginning. I'm showing some like really cool like visual change gimmicks and stuff. Alex Bow. What camera am I shooting with? So right now I'm just shooting on the Mac. But normally it's the Canon EOS R, letter R. I used to shoot with the 1DX Mark II, but I've gone to this and I love it. It's just, with that screen, it makes my life so much easier. David Peace, my wife started paying attention when you talked about lenses. I can talk about lenses all day. I can literally talk about them all day. Don't get me going. Raymond Lawyer, who is my favourite magician, modern or past? Paul Harris or Luba, I think. Paul Harris, yeah. Rich Reddish, I made any whispers of exciting things that you're looking to check out on Magic Live that you can tease. I'm going to be showing the Maxim app. And Rich, if you're lecturing tomorrow, I'm probably going to come to it if I've got time. I know I'm flying out on Friday. But yeah, if you're lecturing tomorrow, Rich, I'll show you Maxim there. I'd love to pick your brains on it. Michael, how do I get Pete's lens? Me and Pete go back years. We travelled together and worked together. Alex Bow, your Tempest is still for sale and it's your training as far as I know. Well, it was when I got it last year, but it's definitely still for sale. Saw it today. Okay. Well, I don't think it's been updated for years and I don't know what they've done to it. Same with Cypher. Like I even took my name off Cypher because it's nothing like what I want it to be, what I created it like originally. So, I wouldn't get it if I were you guys. My Tempest, not many Linfield's Tempest, that is. Gabriel Pereira. Will you ever release an impromptu version of Eclipse Shift? Please tell me. I mean, Eclipse Shift is impromptu. So it's just something you need to learn. Michael, just kidding. Now it's confirmed I'm not a comedian. What was that in relation to? Or what was I smoking? Eddie, just want to say that I'm enjoying the channel. Only found it recently after watching Jay Sankey for years. Thank you so much, Eddie, dude. Thank you for tuning in. IJ Kiel. Hey Lloyd, just joined too. Oh man, don't worry, you can rewind it. Just go back to the beginning. I'll show you. You're gonna see it. You're gonna see a bunch of like crazy visual gimmicks and stuff. So just go back to the beginning and watch it up, man. Brazen, yes, like my dude. He's saying, smash the like, guys, and welcome. Yeah, do me a favor, hit that like button, everyone. Let me know you're here. IJ Kill again. What's the quickest magic trick you know? That's a good question. Probably this. Let me show you. Quickest thing that I know, where's my camera, is probably, it's like an old shilling. Watch the coin, as it vanishes. So that's like the quickest thing that I know. Let me show you again how that works. So you can show the coin here, and you can, change it into an Alma's glue. So basically, it's a thing I've been doing for so many years. You take a coin out of your pocket, you show everyone as you talk about what it is, but I keep my fingers in my pocket like this. So I come up, I pinch it between my index finger and thumb, and I'm also holding it there, not in the center. So I'm holding it on the edge, but like that. And then as I come over and dump it into my hand, or pretend to, I'm actually dropping it in my pocket. So from exposed view, I show here. As I come up, I literally drop it in, pretend to throw it. And then what I do at lectures is when as I'm explaining it, I'll steal anything off the table that I can and show it. And now people are really focused here. And for some reason, it always looks super visual to them when I make something appear at the end. So that's one of the things that I do. I've done a lot. But actually, that's like a super practical work. I do that in the real world if I'm going to actually make a coin like vanish and transpose and appear somewhere. So I hope that was a good answer to the question. Okay, last few comments. You showed an ACAM where the chart rises. Is there a lesson online? Miko, could you be more specific? Because I don't know about an ACAM where the card rises. Do you mean something else? Sorry. Android developer. Hey Lloyd, what's your go-to impromptu card trick with a shuffle deck? Pardon me. Probably this thing. Impromptu card trick with a shuffle deck. I will literally say, take the deck. I'll have it shuffled. And I'd go through and I'd ask someone to pick a card out. So I'd go like this, and I'd say whatever you like. Just say stop. So they go through. Let's say they stop on this card, like that, and I'd lose it into the deck. And I'd just say to them, and you can actually try this right now. I'll leave the cards in view. Think of a number between 10 and 20, but make it a big, difficult one, okay? So answer that in the comments below, and we'll deal to that number when they come through. I'm just going to sit here so you can see, and I'll answer questions as you do that. Okay, Scott Vance. Awesome show. Thanks a bunch. Lloyd, quick one. Magic book I can recommend. First book to come to mind. Art of Astonishment Projects by Paul Harris. My first one that always comes to mind. If not, I love Mentalism by John Bannon. So it's all like card magic, mentalism meets sort of thing. Okay, we're at Alex Bow, another great session. Alex Bow, you need to bring a book out. Oh, don't start me. I've written like 3 books, but I've never published them. Nevin Sodi, if you had to perform one routine for the rest of your life, which one would it be? One routine, probably Crazy Man's Handcuffs. Got to be Crazy Man's Handcuffs for me. Actually, oh God, that's evil. If you have to perform one, yeah. Tom Jones impersonation. Magic for Beginners, afternoon mate. Justin Miller, yo, Justin, I gotta get back to you, man. I've literally been under strict orders to be off my phone all weekend because it's the weekend. But I'll get back to you tomorrow when I'm back in the office. I literally, my wife said you've been so locked down with with luck stuff for the past like 3 months that I had to be off. But I'll get back to you, and I have sorted your thing out. I can't get 3, but I can get 1. So fear not, my friend, it's coming. Sorry, man, would you ever release a tutorial on your own handling of the Eclipse Shift? No, it's not mine to teach. It's Chad Nelson, so I don't teach things that are not mine. Okay, so the numbers are coming in for the position of the card. Nevin Sodi says 17. I'll take the first answer because it was the first one. So 17, and then the card will be there. So hopefully 17, and the card was the King of Hearts. I haven't touched the deck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Oh, I'm getting so scared. 15, 16, 17. And the card was the King. Was it the King of Diamonds? It was the King of Diamonds. 17. Or was it the 18? Oh, it was 17 and then the card was there. What are the odds in that? But that's my favourite impromptu trick with the shuffle deck. Miller in the house. Woo! Yeah, I can't believe Justin Miller watching my streams. This is the weirdest thing. Such a surreal experience. Literally the best magician alive watching my stream. What's going on? David Lucy, the way you think blows my mind. You need to bring those change gimmicks out. Take care, buddy. Thank you, dude. Justin, sorry, man. I know, I get it. Oh, thank you so much, Justin. I can't believe you're even here. I know. JM's in the chat. What's going on? All right, guys. Well, look. I'm literally wrapping up now. I wish I was on here earlier. Justin, I'll drop you a line tomorrow, brother. I've got you covered. When you bent the deck and the card raised. What was the question to that? Oh, it's yeah. So it's not mine to teach. It's Sean Fields' ambitious card handling. I believe it's in his leaked notes, which were released bloody hell, 15 years ago. And leaked is spelled L33T. And he has some great stuff in there, like a build through glass table, a routine where liquid changes and things. But there's I think his ambitious rising card is in there, the one that we were performing earlier. I've used it for so many years, and yeah, I think it's great. Love the pod you did with Justin. Oh man, the podcast with Justin was the best podcast we've done, and it hasn't felt the same since. So we're gonna have to be doing more of those. But let me just find something real quick before I jump off. For you guys. Where am I going? Where am I going? Because I will have to go super quick. I'm looking for the link. Talk amongst yourself as I find this link. Okay. When this stream finishes, I want you all to go and check out Justin's website, mentalslides.com. In the chat there. If you're not learning from Justin, there's no point learning from me. He's the master of our art. One of the greatest thinkers and performers and creators living right now. So mentalslides.com, go and check out Justin's material. Sign up to a Justin Miller lecture. It'll be the best thing you do for your magic, period. All right, so on that note, guys, thank you all so much. I will speak to you all very soon. Love you all, and I hope you enjoyed the show today. See you later.